One, I'm sure we're on the air. I'm sure someone will tell us we're on the air. It's good to see you, Dr. Brown. How are you? In
Yes,
three
it's
words,
always
how are you?
good to see. I am well.
That's very good. Very good. Do me, do me, do
That's
me.
3 words, isn't it?
Yeah,
How are you in 3 words?
I'm
Possibly
great.
three and a half.
I'm greatish. Is that three and a half?
All one could ever wish for.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it?
Anything new, exciting, different?
Um, I mean, the, the world hasn't yet ended, which I find in our current times very exciting. Um, and
And
you
that's
know,
that's all you got.
that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Tell me about this background you have, because it looks like
This
you're
background,
by a lake.
yeah. This is my current view, which you can tell because if I move my head, it's not at all
Yeah,
digitally interposed.
please don't do that. Your hair disappears.
So that's why this is why I'm sitting uncharacteristically still, as they say, um,
I've
and
heard
I'm
that.
not making any hand
I've
gestures
heard
for
that a
that
lot.
same reason.
He's
This
sitting
this lake
uncharacteristically still.
is in
Yes.
fact Lake Minnewanka, which is a lake, and it's if I remember correctly, it's the Lake of the Spirits. I want to say is what the name means. And I recently learned that there actually is a ghost town at the bottom of the lake, and that if you cross this lake on a kayak, you can actually see like the spire of the old church tower through the water. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Where is this lake located?
This lake is located in Alberta.
And where is Alberta? Is that Canada?
Alberta is where I am, and
Oh,
where I am is Alberta.
it's Alberta.
It's Canada. It's western side of Canada, not the west coast, because that's British Columbia, but right to the east of British Columbia.
Right to the east of British Columbia. So it's
Yeah.
okay.
So to British Columbia
But
is
you've not been to
east.
this lake.
I have been to this lake.
Oh, did you
Yes.
take a kayak? Did you go see the spire?
I have not yet taken a kayak, but I'm now in possession of an inflatable kayak, which is not as terrifying as it sounds. I seek to inflate it soon, make my way to Lake Minnewanka again, where I took this picture in winter. It doesn't look like this now, and kayak on this lake.
Okay. First of all, no,
It
there's
should be
nothing
fun.
scary about an inflatable kayak unless you mix the inflatable kayak with Dr. Brown. Second of all, this photograph that
True.
is behind you is a photograph that you took? Question mark?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. I thought it was one of those things that came with your program.
Stock picture. No, no,
Stock
no.
picture.
This is
Exactly.
actually my doing.
That was the verbiage I was looking for. We're getting
The
hellos
adva-
from. I just gonna interrupt you. Hello
oh yes,
came
go
in
ahead.
from Phoenix, and another one from Australia, uh, and that's all the city, places, or countries that I see so far. Just so you know. Just so you know
So
that you have a worldwide audience.
we are watched from
But
all over the world
just out
once
of
again.
curiosity,
Yeah.
um, where in Australia and what day and time is it?
And where is it? Oh, sorry, very loud drove by. Sorry. And relatively speaking, where is Australia relative to British Columbia? Also important.
It depends on which way you go.
That is true.
I go
It could go either
I
way.
go south and west, south by southwest.
That was going to be my guess as well.
Now we have someone from Atlanta joining us with 1 minute to showtime. Did we get all
I
the
know. I'm so
Did we
excited.
get all the junk? Do you have pens with you?
I have nothing for the reason that I got nothing in the past week since we spoke. I have some things underway, but they are not here yet. And as a result,
Okay,
I have
that's all right.
no sausage.
I can support the show.
Well, I felt
Chicago
that
is
you
checking
would
in.
step in.
Another from Georgia, and Australia has checked in. Brisbane, 11 a.m. on the 4th. So it's tomorrow. We're speaking to tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Practically lunchtime.
Yesterday began tomorrow, as they say.
and somewhere below the equator is the location that was provided. See, I'm reading to Dr.
Oh.
Brown, just in case anybody's wondering. He can't see the comments.
I can't see the comments.
You
And
can't
one
see the
thing that I
comments.
once saw that I found very interesting was that I saw a map of the United States with Australia superimposed, and Australia was as big as all the United States.
It's ginormous.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I always think, because when you see it on a map, you think, oh, it's a little
Well,
island.
you know,
So,
it's an island.
you know. But, you know, it's a
Apparently,
huge...
it's also
huge-
a continent.
Yes.
Portland,
So I think-
Oregon is checking in. Portland, Oregon is checking in. Hello, Portland. That's out by you right now. A little further to your west.
It is.
And the sun is setting in Houston. But it's setting on today, not tomorrow.
That sounds like it could be the title of a country song. The sun is setting in Houston.
I'm sure it is. You can look it up later.
Probably. If not, it will be now. You've
Well,
heard it here first.
Shall I show you a pen, or do you have any
Yeah, show me a
pen
pen.
news that you would like to share?
I can speak about some pen news, but let's first show pen.
Well, one thing in pen news is that the DC Pen Show is this weekend. We got a hello from New York. The United States is an island too. Yes, I suppose everything's an island.
When you think about it, yeah.
Yes. New Jersey. Hello, New Jersey. Malaysia, where it is 9:15 a.m. So, you know, it's only 8 p.m. where I am. So Malaysia must be 15 minutes off the hour. That requires further research.
This will require further. I need to think about that. Yeah,
Unless my clock's wrong.
it's only 7:01 here. Yeah, it could be.
DC
It could be.
Pen Show.
Skype was giving us trouble before.
No, Skype was giving you trouble before. Let's
Yes,
just be
but then-
clear on this.
But then by default, you're also troubled because we are doing this
As
together.
I recall, and there was no one here to witness this, but as I recall, I made the suggestion that solved the problem.
This is correct. You have solved the issue. That is absolutely true.
Now, North Carolina and a cloudy Seattle, and the sun is setting in Chicago. So,
Is it ever not cloudy in Seattle?
yes.
Because I always hear that it's cloudy or raining.
Occasionally not cloudy in Seattle.
Once
Just
in a
so
while.
you know.
No, I was curious because, I mean, the Netherlands, you can have weeks, and I'm not exaggerating, weeks that you don't see the sun. 2 or 3 weeks with just overcast skies is not an exception. So I sometimes wonder. Well, I mean, you do see the sun, obviously.
Obviously. Obviously.
Obviously.
You were talking about the DC Pen Show.
Now you were talking about the DC Pen
did
Show.
I?
I was saying I just said I'm not going to the DC Pen Show this year. And then you said I am. So I'm happy that you're going so that next month you can report on the DC Pen Show, innit?
Well, if I said I am, and I am not confessing to the fact that I even said or uttered those words, but if I said I am, it was something completely different. I'm not going to the DC Pen Show.
Everybody in the chat, please let us
Yes,
know if
please
you
let
also
me
heard
know.
Eric
If
say
you
that
have
he
a
is going
moment,
to DC.
let me know if I said I'm going, because I'm not going. But it is this weekend. In fact, if you're on our side of the international date line, it starts in 2 days, and if you're on the other side, apparently it'll start tomorrow. And
It'll be very exciting, I think, to see how that will operate in our current world.
I do know that they are requiring masks for all exhibitors, attendees, anybody who goes in, even in the seminars, which I believe to be a wise decision. If you're going to have a pen show today
I
or
think
this
so,
weekend, masks should
And-
be required.
And given that not everybody owns a hazmat suit,
Yeah, well,
it's
yeah.
the next best thing.
I have a spare. One for me, one for you. We can go.
I know.
We've done
But,
it in
you know.
tuxedos. We can do it in hazmat suits.
We can do it in a hazmat suit. In fact, that may be the theme of the next pen show we're at together. We both show up in a hazmat suit.
Hazmat suit. Yeah, speaking of pen shows, I got to talk to you about January.
Yeah, tell me.
Philly Pen Show, you're going.
Philadelphia Pen Show
Yeah. I'll send you the dates.
is my guess.
Just cross them off.
Very good.
You're occupied.
Yep.
You're occupied. Also this week, currently going on, to the best of my knowledge and the information that I have at hand, is ICYM'em. You've heard of
Yes.
ICYM'em, right?
I have heard of that.
And can you tell me what
International
ICYM'em?
Association of Master Penmen, Embossers, Engrossers, Calligraphers, Theorists,
You were so close.
Historians, whatever
I
it
was
is.
about to be impressed. International
my best.
Association of Master Penmen, Engrossers, and Teachers of Handwriting, IAMPITH.
Handwriting, that's
Oh, Aaron. Hello, Aaron. You did arrive. Hello, nice to see you. Masked pens, yes. Masked pens. I know nothing about IAMPITH other than the fact that Mr. Ward is there attending. Who had to leave Canada to get there?
I have. Oh yeah, that's exciting actually.
Yeah,
That's
he was able to get there.
I have had conversations, one face to face and one through Skype, with 2 master penmen. Unless Mr. Ward is now a master penman, in which case
you
there
and
are
I both
3.
know that he's a master penman, but I don't believe he has the
We know
certificate.
this.
He just hasn't made it yet.
But you know, that's the thing with these organizations, right?
Yes.
They don't ask us.
They don't ask us.
They don't ask us. I don't understand why.
Nor should they.
If anyone's expertise is not in question, it's ours, and yet casually ignored,
No, casually.
cast aside, as it were.
So IAMPITH is going on. I don't know for how long. I think it's through the weekend. And then there's the DC Pen Show. And I've heard rumor about a San Francisco Pen Show at the end of the month. But I don't have that information in front of me.
What I do know, that's the only thing I can say about pen shows, is that typically in September is the Dutch pen show, but I can't say the Dutch pen show because now there is a pen show called the Dutch Pen Show. So there is the Tilburg show, which is the oldest pen show in the Netherlands, and it is cancelled. This year there will be just like last year, there will not be a Dutch pen show, which was coming up on its 30th anniversary, I think. So that's a shame, but I understand the decision. In this case too, I was not consulted, and yes,
that's impossible. You
it
were
is a
born
wise
in
decision.
that city, as everybody
I know.
knows.
Everybody knows.
And I guess we should remind everyone of what they already know, is that in Tilburg, the pen show, we have both gone to.
We have both been at that pen show. We have been in Tilburg. We have been in DC. LA is on my list. Philadelphia is on my list. That pretty much sums it up. We should do one day. You and I should be at the Madrid pen show because it's a nice pen show.
That would be fun.
And you speak Spanish, so you can make yourself very useful, and I cannot. Problem solved.
Problem solved. What else is going on? You reminded me of something, but then you talked about Madrid. Oh, the pen hubs, the Pelican Pen Hubs. I heard a rumor that they've been canceled for this year.
I was contacted by the CEO of Pelican, and he said, "What do you think we should do?" And I said, "I'm glad you consult me because nobody else does."
Nobody else does.
And it's a no.
It's a no.
No, in all honesty, Eric, I have not heard anything about the hubs. I know there were questions about it in the local pen club in Calgary, but I've not heard anything. But I would not be surprised. And I think that the reason I would not be surprised is that if people at such a hub catch COVID and then they turn to Pelican and say, "¿Qué pasa?" or "What's gebeurt?" more appropriately, then what is Pelican going to do? Because they encourage that hub. Whereas with a pen show, I don't know if it would be this. It feels different to me because it's not a company; it's a person. But with a company, I know that liability is really something that companies would really get behind.
Worldwide. I did just say the Pelican hubs are worldwide, and I believe that to be true. They probably made the right decision.
I think
that's coming up in September, and we're not out of this thing yet.
No. So maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Good on them. Good on them. So that's all the pen-related news I think I have. IAMPITH, DC Pen Show, San Francisco Pen Show at the end of the month, and the Pelican Hubs have been canceled for this year, second year in a row. Probably a good idea.
I would think it's a good idea.
Maybe they should just send us all ink.
Yeah, I think they should you just sign up, you get a free ink.
Yeah.
The golden, what is it this year?
The next time they call you.
Yeah, I'll let them know.
You let them know.
And an M1000.
I'm going to talk about TWSBI. Do you remember TWSBI?
Yeah, you talk about TWSBI.
I'll talk about TWSBI. TWSBI came out with something called the Swipe. I'm going to throw a picture up here of the TWSBI Swipe. I sent you the pictures earlier, Dr. Brown, so that you could see them.
I'm looking at it.
This is a cartridge converter pen, which is unusual for TWSBI. I guess the Micarta was probably a cartridge converter, but most of them are not cartridge converter. And they're like $27, and they're a really good value. And, you know, I think we like TWSBI's. I mean, I'll get your take on it first. You've seen the pictures. It's just another pen. I don't know if there's any. There is some innovation. There is some innovation. I don't know if it matches your description of innovation. Pontificate for 10 seconds.
What's the spring for?
The spring. Well, first of all, let me show you the packaging, because I have the packaging here.
Oh, you have it there.
Comes in a cute little box in a sleeve,
Cute.
and when you push it out, it's a nice, cute little plastic box. So there's a little bit of innovation here. At least, you know, they're just, it says TWSBI on it too. There he goes, TWSBI. Was that backwards for everybody? Because I don't know. Then you have to wrangle it open, and you get a pen.
Looks like a little package you put dentures in.
Or something. Yeah. And it's a snap cap. I like the snap caps. And cartridge
That is
converter.
nice.
Now, before we get to the spring, I have to open all their packaging. No tool
No,
on this
this
one.
is good.
No tool.
I will talk amongst myself. I think it's a wonderful idea. I'm just really, really curious to see what the spring is for.
They say...
So, did I buy you enough time?
Yes, here is the converter. And you'll notice something unusual about this converter. First of all, it comes with two converters, because here's the other one. This one, you just
That's
twist it.
traditional.
You twist it.
With a little
Yes,
ball
we're going to call
inside.
it traditional, except it's very fat. And this one has a
it's
spring in
chubby.
it. And so it's one of these pumper thingies. Now,
That's pretty awesome.
yes, it's innovative. However, don't they say ink should not be touching metal?
Yeah.
I've never had a problem, really, but I've never...
Yeah.
Okay, so, but you're right. They give you a spring, too. And this is not a replacement spring for when the spring breaks or is eaten away by your ink in the converter.
Hashtag spring break. That's a pretty good one.
They give you a cartridge as well. Now, does this look like a cartridge? A standard international cartridge?
It looks like a cartridge, yes.
It
Are you about to ruin my day? Tell me that it's not?
It has a standard international nipple on it.
Nipple.
But it won't fit any pen.
Hashtag spring break, hashtag nipple. Go on.
Because this is a standard international cartridge, a la Mont Blanc. And this is the
Yes.
TWSBI. It's ginormous.
Oh, yeah.
So even though it'll
love
fit
it.
on any of your pens that take an international cartridge, it won't fit in the section. It's just too fat.
Huh.
So the instructions say that if you want, it's not.
The instructions say this cartridge can't be used for anything. Throw it out.
You asked about the spring. If you
Yeah, the
want,
spring.
you can put the spring in the barrel, so that when you put the cartridge in the barrel
Cartridge.
and put it into the section, it will apply more pressure to the cartridge and keep it more soundly into the section. Now, I've never had a problem with a cartridge falling off my section. But
No, I in all honesty, I actually have.
have
There
you?
are
Okay.
specific pens where it's come out and it was in the barrel.
you
Yeah.
asked for innovation, and this is what they have provided.
For a second, I thought that these cartridges were so hard to puncture that you needed some sort of spring to assist.
Have to pump it with full of air so that... So anyway, this is the
Okay,
TWSBI
well,
Swipe.
happens.
I think it's a nice deal for $27 because of all the stuff you get to play with.
I would
Along
not
with
swipe right on it. Wait, what's the left? Whatever the terminology is, I would not pass it by.
I would not.
It's a cute pen. I like it. But it is innovative. I really like. This is a simple concept. You have multiple filling options. You have a funky converter that just pumps
the
the air.
springy
the
thing
ink,
is-
sorry.
I haven't filled one of these springy converters, but it looks like it would be fun.
Yeah.
And
And easy to clean.
yes, and it's not a weak spring either. Not a weak spring.
Strong.
Along with the Swipe, they came out with little cases, and these cases have cartridges in them. Cartridges.
Oh.
10 cartridges. It's a cute... I should practice how to
Counting.
open. It's probably sealed. Oh, it's sealed. Okay, buy
explain
time.
it.
Buy time.
Okay, so we have a very strong spring which you could use if you get bored to launch your pen across the room should you feel that desire. Then you also have massive
See on both
cartridges which
sides of
hold
it.
approximately 0.2 milliliters more ink than a usual cartridge does, which is pretty bad. Not bad when you think about it.
It's quite a bit
And
more.
then we have a little box that looks like a little old-fashioned cigarette case that actually
Okay,
holds
so there's a little
multiple
flap.
cartridges.
We gotta get the flap up, and then you open
flap,
the box,
yeah.
and there's 10 cartridges. Now these are the same extra large cartridges that fit the swipe. $6.
Have you counted?
You get
It's really
$6. You get all these cartridges that are massive. Now I suppose you could put small cigarettes in there or whatever, whatever else would fit in there.
You could cut them in half and then smoke twice from the same cigarette.
There you
But
go.
you could also
Now I wonder.
can you purchase these cartridges without the box? Because my issue is once all those cartridges are done for, the box is empty. It's plastic. It's waste.
No,
and you can't put normal cartridges in them because they're
then
bigger.
you-
These are bigger than the regular ones.
You just put your
Very
regular
concerned.
cartridges in there afterwards.
Oh, there you go. Well, the problem's solved.
Yeah,
That's pretty
problem
cute. That's pretty cute.
And I should say, I haven't tried this personally, but a standard short international should fit in the swipe. Because the nipples are the
Yeah,
same.
with the spring especially. The
Yeah,
spring is so
especially
strong.
with the spring.
You'd be happy not to shoot your eye out with that.
And I brought the blue one. But they also come in smoke. But I prefer blue.
Smoke. Right.
But I showed the picture. I'll show it again. Just because I'm here. If I can find it. What's it called? Twisby? There it is. Smoke.
That gray looks like it is translucent, but the blue is not. Is
The
that
blue
correct?
is not. The gray is. Your eyes do not deceive you, doctor.
Very good. Very good.
And now I
Very
shall
good.
hide that picture so I can see you again. And there you have it. Innovation. Innovation.
I like it.
Let me see if I have anything else that is innovative. Not by your definition, just new patterns, new
That's all right.
prettiness here and there.
New patterns can be fun.
We had talked last month and perhaps the month before that about Esterbrook Esty in the Aqua, which was a pretty blue, looked like a swimming pool you'd want to dive in. I do not own one of those pens because they put gold trim on it, gold furniture.
And you hate gold
I
trim.
just can't stand it. Very rarely do I think it works with a pen. And had they put palladium trim on that one, I might not.
You would
I
have
might
bought it.
have one because it was. But now they've come out with. Let me show a picture. It's called the Sea Glass,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the same. No, it's nothing really like the the Aqua, but I
As you know.
think it's because it has palladium trim. I think it's prettier than the Aqua.
Well, it's nice, and it does look like sea glass. It's an appropriate
It
name.
looks
I think,
exactly
the blue
like
and
sea
green.
glass. I don't
Yeah.
have a nib in the one that I have in my hand, so I won't take the cap off. But I did bring one, and of course, all the things I'm going to show I stole for an evening from Anderson Pens, and of course they don't have one with palladium trim because they sold out immediately because palladium trim
Yeah,
is
because-
superior, and
Yeah, we understand.
and they didn't have an oversized one either. This is the standard Esterbrook Esty. I did take the cap off so you can see that it comes with this nib, the invisible nib. Now there's some innovation for you.
Yeah,
It
is very
fits nicely in your hand, but I do prefer the oversized one. And when they get more of the oversized with palladium trim, I'm going to have to seriously consider getting one. But I don't think this is innovative. They just changed the material.
No, but I think it's a nice pen.
It's beautiful.
I agree that the oversize would be nice for me too, but people's hand sizes differ, people's preferences in pen size differ. I think it's nice, and I think it's nice to have the option. I don't have the
Any interest in
How
this
shall I put this?
conversation?
No. I was thinking how I don't have the hang up with gold trim that you seem to do. I don't mind it. But I think it's nice to have that option. The palladium trim it gives a very, to me, it always looks cooler, as in less warm. I mean, but that's not a bad thing. Sometimes the gold, I agree. Sometimes it works for me more than for you, I think. But I mean, but Having said that, it doesn't always work. It can look a
Oh,
bit
for
tacky. I'm
instance,
not saying that's the case here, but
the clip on your Emperor is
yeah,
gold, and it has to be gold.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that would work. Maybe if it came in a
No, I
different
don't think
color,
so either. That would look weird. I think that would look
it would
weird.
look kind of strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, do you have a King of Pen by Sailor?
Yes and no. I don't, but I do have an LB5 which is modeled after the King of
Yes.
Pen.
Okay, so you know that they're rather large pens.
They
Rather
are
large
rather, and they
pens.
are pretty.
And they're
They
very
are
pretty.
pretty.
Very pretty. This one is the Sailor King of Pen in Ebonite. And what's interesting about this particular one that they just came out with is that they are now making the section also in Ebonite, because they haven't always been
Oh, that's
Ebonite.
nice. Yeah,
And they're releasing them with special Naginata Togi nibs. Not those crazy
very nice.
nibs. No.
I've tried one of those new ones, and it was very nice. It was very nice.
They're just gorgeous. They're very expensive, but they're very gorgeous. But they're big.
They're expensive. They are big, and the Ebonite I think has the understated elegance that I associate with Japanese art often. It's understated, I think is the best way I can put it. It's not a super flashy, it's
No,
not in your
no.
face, but it's
elegant and
for
classy.
me it works very well.
And
Yeah.
and I just want to ink it up and write with it. But that would cost
And
me
use
pretty
it.
penny. Yeah. I'll,
Yeah.
I'll try a tester. And while we're talking about Sailor, we've talked a couple of times about the Sailor Go USA, and I have them tonight.
Ah, yes.
I have them tonight.
Very
They are
nice.
red with white at the top and the bottom, and some blue, a blue section that has some shiny sparkles to them.
Shiny
Just
stuff.
on the section, nowhere else. Just on the section.
Yeah.
Pro Gear Slim only. I'm thinking that they probably released these around the time of the Olympics for Go USA.
Mhm.
James Taylor, yes, you're correct. That is what they go for. To me, that's expensive. He found the price of the King of Pen.
Oh yeah, that's a shock. Yeah, I know.
And I don't know that we've ever mentioned these. No, in fact, I know we haven't mentioned these. Another Esterbrook pen. Are you familiar with the JR line?
No.
No.
Haven't
Well,
used
I'll
them.
show a picture. Because they have JR pens, but they just came out with the JR Paradise line. And where is that JR Paradise? There we go. And they're just fun colors. Orange, blue, yellow. The I want to call them finials, but they're not finials. The jewel area has a little splash of contrasting color. And
Nice.
the yellow is apparently the most popular because it's gone, but I did bring an orange and a blue. And I mean, this is just a pen you want to pick up and write with. Because they're cute.
It's much closer to the vintage Esterbrook,
Yes,
I
it's
think.
much
based on-
closer to what they used to be. But yeah, I like these.
Cute, very
I
cute.
like these. It's gonna be hard to
Is
get
that a
them back.
number 6 nib?
It looks like a number 6 nib.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks
Yep.
like it. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Because it's a slightly slimmer pen, so it could have been number 5. At least it
No,
looks a
but
bit slimmer to me.
I mean, I don't have a number 5 here, but it looks like a number 6.
No, but I bet it's
Yeah.
bet it's number 6. Yeah, that is number 6.
So
That's nice.
I think you should get them. That's my
Yeah.
recommendation to you. Just put a little joy in your life and get these pens. Probably get one of each
bit
color.
of joy, bit of color. Yeah,
yeah.
bit spring break.
Especially
Why
in
not?
your winters, you know.
It could start any moment. I mean, any moment it can start now. So
Tim Anderson, you're a genius. I'm bringing back the Go USA because he says the sparkles might represent the stars in the field of blue on the flag.
well, yeah,
And I
that's
right over
that's
my
what I
head.
thought.
Right over my head. You didn't mention it. Tim mentioned it. Thank you, Tim.
I,
You're paying
yeah,
attention.
I wanted to say it, but then you moved on, and I was like, let's not hold
Oh,
them
is
up
there
and-
anything else I have moved on from about which you would like to make a comment?
Oh
Now's
no,
your
not
chance.
at all. Please go on. I'll come back in 5 minutes when someone else has said it first.
Yeah, and then claim that you were thinking it.
Yes.
Okay, they're going to play a little game here. Name the manufacturer. This is going to be so difficult. Because I know you don't have a lot of experience with pens.
No, I've barely held one. That looks to me like it's probably a Pelican Mont Blanc,
A Pelican Mont Blanc.
probably an M149,
An M149, exactly true.
but it could be the King of Pen.
This is not the King of Pen.
No, it's an Aurora.
No.
Optime 88.
Now, you know this is a Visconti. This is a Visconti.
That's obviously a Visconti.
Homo sapiens dark crystal, because they've put a window in there. Now you can see your ink. And actually this one has two, because it's the double reservoir, so you have a reservoir in the back and a reservoir in the front. This is a little window here that you can't see through, really. I can see through it, you can't. And this is a larger window. Another not cheap pen, not as expensive as a King of Pen, but innovation? Are we going to call that innovation, or are they just putting a big window on it?
Yeah, I think so. Because
what about their filling system, the double reservoir power filler?
I think that
That's
I think that
innovative.
double reservoir power filler is innovative and is very cool, especially if you can actually see the ink, because it's just cool. It's cool to see it's sloshing around.
Yes, that's the lava lamp
I
thing
think-
you got going.
Exactly. The biggest issue that I have had with the Homo sapien model, the original model, is that it's a very nice model. It's very cool that it's lava. I've heard a story of someone. That's also the lava, right? That you're having. Is that made of lava, or is it some other material?
It's
Or magma? In magma? I don't know.
it's not lava.
Oh, it's not lava. Okay.
No.
I've heard about the lava pens. There was a story about someone who dropped one of those pens multiple stories down in a library by accident, and the pen survived because that lava is apparently pretty much unbreakable. relatively
Multiple
speaking.
stories. That's interesting.
Multiple stories in a library. I think it was university somewhere, but I could be wrong. Anyway, given that that's completely irrelevant because that is not lava, I will now change the subject quickly. The one issue that I've had with the original Homo sapiens pens, which I think are nice, I think they're quite comfortable. The section can stain a bit, I found, with the ink, but all of that is okay.
Yeah, that does depend on
Also,
the section.
It's disgusting to think about that it absorbs liquid and therefore kind of absorbs your sweat from your fingers. But having said all that, which also doesn't apply to this pen, the biggest issue with it is that it had no ink window. And with the power filler, you have no idea if you have a drop of ink left, a milliliter of ink left. There's no way of telling, right?
Well, I mean, I don't
You
have
can't
that in a
just
lot of
open it up.
pens. In a lot of pens, I have no idea.
I
how
do.
to- You know,
But that's why they invented the ink window. So I'm surprised. Visconti, I know, made a Homo sapiens for, I want to say, a British writer, and his name eludes me at the moment, but you can find it on YouTube. There's a video of a British author who had a Homo sapiens that Visconti made for him because I think Dante Del Vecchio liked his work, and the guy always used the Homo sapiens, and they made a lava Homo sapiens with an ink window, and he shows it off in that video, but that's years old. And I'm shocked that they never did this, because they have some clear models, but they never had something that was not clear, but with an ink window, as far as I know,
Well,
in the Homo sapiens model.
They did. Prior to this, they had, I think they called it the crystal, and it just had two small windows, one on each side.
Oh,
And
yeah,
now,
right.
Now
you're
they've
right.
made the window all the way around. So obviously, you have to just continue buying their pens because they keep improving, and you want the newest one. So
Well, but I think that what they've done with this pen is clever, because they've made so many versions of it, and then there are people like Chatterley Luxuries who have exclusives. There are other, well, I don't know if there are other companies that have exclusives, but I think it's the same effect as with the Lamy Safari. It's very collectible because there are so many versions of that model. It's a lot more expensive than the Lamy Safari,
just a little bit.
but it's very collectible. So I think that's quite nice.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say about this particular pen, or any other pen you've seen so
Well,
far? that
actually,
Uh-huh.
actually, one question.
Uh,
Sorry.
I'll lie.
What is the nib? Is it the new gold nibs that they do, or is it palladium? I would assume. I think they stopped palladium, so I would assume not. But
It's black.
okay,
So
it's black. Well,
how do they make a nib black?
The pen experts have had their
18 karat.
amazing insights. They've just released their views on this nib. It's black.
It's black.
Okay.
It's an
Well, that
18
was
karat
everything I wanted to
black
say, Eric, so
gold.
don't worry about it.
I don't know how they make the gold black. And yes, all their pens now, yeah, ruthenium. All their pens now are made on pins. All their nibs are in house now. So
Right. And gold.
and gold.
Yeah. Unless they're steel, in which
Unless
case.
they're steel, in which case they are not gold yet.
Awesome. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a pretty pen. I don't want it, but it's a pretty pen. I can appreciate it without having to own it.
Yeah, well, that's always the best thing, I think,
Here's
when you can
another
think,
mystery
yeah,
pen. Who makes this one?
that looks like a Tibaldi.
This is a Tibaldi. It's obviously Visconti. Do you know the name of it?
It looks like a Van.
Yes, yes. Now, can you say that in English for me?
And the first, yeah, good. And the first, the art thieves, they stole the Rembrandt and the Monet, but they couldn't make the Van Gogh. Now, that looks, the first thing I think of when I see that is Cafe Terrace.
Yes, this is what they're calling Cafe Terrace at night, based on the colors. They pulled the colors from the painting and they made the acrylic. It's multifaceted. It's facets.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. This is a beautiful pen. Now, I'm going to point out why I don't own this pen, because I think it is
It has
beautiful.
a metal section.
It has a metal section. Now, that does not bother everybody, but like me insisting on not gold furniture, I can take a metal section. Metal section is fine. Here is a metal pen, and there is a metal section. No problem. That's perfectly fine with me. Here is a beautiful acrylic pen. You open it up, there's a metal section. That does not go. No, Visconti, stop that. They're not going to listen to me. They don't call me.
It strikes me that sometimes you're a bit of a whiny bitch, but having said that,
What do you mean sometimes? I got work to do.
But seriously, why does it not bother you on the Mont Blanc, but it does bother you on the Van? Because I do find it interesting. What's the difference? Is it the texture or the shape, or what makes it so?
Oh, let me try to explain it. The Mont Blanc Petit Prince is a metal pen. It's allowed to have a metal section.
Oh, I see.
It goes
the
with the
material
pen.
rest. Yeah.
This,
I get that.
in my mind, was a cost-saving measure. Because they didn't want to use any more of the pretty material for the section.
Yeah. And it would look, it would look very cool.
It would look fantastic.
Section.
That's they're going to get everybody to buy these pens and then say, oh, now they come with the acrylic sections, so we're all going to have to replace our pens. They won't do that. It also gives a little weight to the front of the pen, which is probably necessary because it would be very light otherwise.
It would be very light.
That is not a problem with a lot of people because a lot of people are buying these pens. They're very, very popular pens at a good price point. And they're gorgeous.
And again,
especially if you never use them.
Right? Very collectible because...
yeah, they got... I don't know how many they have. But
at this point, probably must be 35 or 40 separate because, I mean...
I don't think he painted that many paintings.
No, but I think you can always take another part of a painting. But
That's
it's
he painted much more than that.
Because I remember being in Florence. That was 2013, and seeing them, and I mean it was binders and binders of them. So I think they already had quite a couple at that time.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. If I were
pretty,
just to
pretty.
put it in a frame and hang it on the wall, I would like it very much. If I never had to see that section. It just bugs
I think
me.
then you can also just buy a poster of the painting if that's your,
I think we should.
goal.
Where is the painting? Maybe it's in Madrid. We can pick it up while we're there.
I want to say that I've seen if that's that famous cafe.
It's a Cafe Terrace at night. Café Soir.
I want to say that I have seen this in the Netherlands.
Oh, you're gonna look it up? Okay.
Googling this as we speak.
We'll wait. Well, it's not.
Krullenmuller. Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, okay. So you have seen it.
Krullenmuller.
I have
We
not
should
been
go
there.
there one.
You didn't take me.
Museum. No, I haven't. But because you were not there. But we should do that one. It's really fun museum.
All right. Pick a date.
I'll tell you something. About that museum that's very fun. Not only do they have, I think the biggest collection of, I'll just say Van Gogh to make it easier on myself, but the biggest collection of Van Gogh paintings in the world, because I think they actually own more than the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, because it was private collectors. Insane number of paintings, but they also have a beautiful statue garden / forest you can walk through, which is wonderful. It's a museum in a national park, and the dish of the day in the little restaurant is always chicken Bombay, which was their version of a chicken curry, and it was delicious. Had it multiple times.
It's always about food with you. It's always about food.
It is. It's important. Without food, you die. So,
I have been to the Art Institute of Chicago,
yeah,
many times, and they have a number of his paintings. They don't have this one, obviously.
yeah,
Yes, I've been to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, but they have a lot of his unknown work. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
They got all of his early stuff. Some of it better than what is the famous stuff is.
Yeah, I think so too. Some of his early work was much less colorful, but was a very nice atmosphere.
Someone's asking about this.
Maybe we should start to give this show the tagline, the two art bitches or something, like, bitching about art or something like that, because we've been doing a lot of bitching, I feel.
About what? We only have one artist here. We're saying it's ruthenium, is what we're saying on this.
Yeah,
nib.
that's right.
Yep.
My money would be on that.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's that a black nail varnish, so I'm going with ruthenium.
I'm going with ruthenium. That's all I've got. That's all I brought. That's it. You have nothing to share, so.
The chef, but I have a picture in the lineup that you sent.
Oh, yes. Name it. I'll put it on the screen.
Yes, it's the title of the file is Photos Eric Saylor 110th Anniversary.
Yeah, they're here. The 110th anniversary pens finally arrived today, and Steph whispers to me just in time for their 111th, because they're just a little late.
There was a pandemic. I mean, and it was not a pandemic with an E.
No. So they are on the screen now. The audience can see them. I can see them. Dr. Brown cannot see them.
I know, but I have the picture, so I can see them.
The $1,000-ish ones are at the top. It's the all-black one, which is a black stainless steel. Supposedly cannot be scratched. And the silver one...
Give it to me for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and we'll see.
give me a rasp in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And the silver one is sterling silver. Also about that $1,000 price range. 1,100 of each of those they made worldwide, and they're all numbered. And I saw them today. They're gorgeous. I did not see the third one on the screen because I don't know how many they made. 300. Let's just say 300. I am probably lying, but it's much fewer than 1,100, and extremely expensive. I don't know how much. We're gonna say $3,000. Why not? Maybe 5.
Yeah, why not?
So I have not seen
Stake
the
your
very
claim.
expensive one
in
in
the comments.
person, but today I saw both the black stainless steel and the sterling silver in person, because today is the day they arrived.
I think it's. I think I just can't be pleased because now this is an original design and I kind of hate it.
Not only is it
So-
original, well, yeah, I don't know if it's original, but for Sailor, this is highly away from what they usually
Yeah.
do.
Exactly, and I think we should applaud that because I have been complaining in I think the past 2 or 3 shows about how nobody brings out anything new. This is something new. I don't like it, but I will applaud them for the fact that they're doing something that's
Yeah, they
very
did something
different from their
very,
comfort
very
zone.
different. I'm going to put it back on the screen. It's basically just a tube, and sterling silver. That's my favorite. I like sterling silver.
Yeah, I would pick that. If I was
I
them.
think the step might get in your way on this one, and
Yeah,
they could have
yeah.
used a King of Pen size nib on it.
Yeah.
But it's already $1,000. How much did
I would add another 1,000
yeah,
at least.
that'd be another $1,000.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're armchair pen designers at this point.
Yeah, it's what we do.
Yeah. I think they have a winner here. They're going to sell out, obviously. When you only make 1,100 or something, they'll be gone.
It'll sell.
Even at
Collectively.
that price range. But I won't be getting one. And not only because it's very expensive, but they are in it. There's a very different shape for a pen from Sailor.
Yeah.
But it doesn't appeal to me as enough to spend $1,000 on it. Is that
No,
what you were
I
saying?
like it. I would not spend $1,000. To be fair, I probably wouldn't spend $50 on it. But that's just my preference. It's not. I mean, it's an original pen. It looks like fun for especially Sailor collectors, and I know a few. Not that matters, but I thought I would just throw that in. Some of my best friends are Sailor
They've
collectors.
already purchased it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's different. It's different. So go ahead. Make
Yeah,
my
and
day. Do
it's
something different.
to commemorate their 110th anniversary, which just passed.
110.
Yeah,
Why not?
that's a long time. And
It is a
my
long time.
understanding is that it is 110 years as the same company. You know,
Yeah.
not like other companies
No,
that.
we've been purchased by Newell Rubbermaid,
Right,
and now,
right.
for example,
Not
just a
reinvented.
random, very random example, but yeah, yeah,
Very random. So that's that's like Mont Blanc.
yeah.
Very lots of history, lots of history.
You have to give them that.
So
You have to.
good for them. You make a special pen for your 110th anniversary. If you're only going to make an 1100 and 1100 and 300, I made that number up.
Fine.
They're sold. They're already gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't
But
have
they've
to
done. Yeah.
you don't have to please everybody. You just need to
No.
find 1100, 1100, and 300.
And it can. Yeah, it's exciting. Oh, it's exciting. I like it.
Because
different.
as you well know, you cannot please everybody all the time.
You can't. I've tried. Doesn't work.
I think that's all I have. That's all I brought.
Well, I can tell you something that I thought was interesting. It may not be interesting to all people, but it was interesting to me. I did a live stream not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I got a question that I have received a number of times over the years, which is, when are you launching your own pen? And I kind of started to spar a bit there, mentally, like just brainstorming is maybe the best way to put it. And it looks at this moment that there is interest from
Stop.
a
I'm going to
pen
stop
company.
you right there, Dr. Brown, because there wasn't
Tell
enough of a preamble here. Are you about to make an announcement of some kind that everyone should listen to? Hang on your
I
every
could
word?
be making an announcement.
Okay.
So everybody shut up and listen.
I am
because
now
this is
actually
very-
paying attention to what you're saying.
Yeah. Good. As one should, because
just
I
move
know
it
that
along,
usually
would
you
you?
just I know that you look like, when I talk, it looks like you're listening, but your mind is like miles away, which this is the story of my life, right? No, I was sorry. COVID. No, I was saying it would to vaccination. It would be interesting to actually try and create a pen. So I should be very clear in saying that I have nothing in hand. There is nothing here on my desk. There is none of that. But Salvatore Matrone of Matrone, I make it very English sounding, Matrone from Italy, known for Leonardo pens, was interested in collaborating. He's collaborated with many other people, pen shops, recently with David from Figboot on pens. He was very interested, and what I would like to do, so basically as far as he is concerned, I can say it's a yes, I think. In fact, I know. Then the other issue that I had was that I would like to have a nice material. So I contacted Jonathan Brooks of the Carolina Pen Company, who is very good, I think, at casting acrylics. He makes really, really attractive acrylics.
You're not wrong.
And I have asked him to create something along the lines of his primary manipulation material, but with brown as the main color. After all, that's my name, so I thought that would be kind of fun.
Your name is primary
he
or
expressed-
manipulation?
Sorry?
Your name is primary or manipulation?
Both,
Okay.
as you well know. And if I was a transformer, it would be manipulation prime. But having said that, no, Jonathan also expressed interest. He is going to the DC show, so he's very busy right now. So I have not. It was a very short conversation I had with him, but he seemed interested. So I think we can make that happen. You can see that I can barely contain myself, but that's just my Dutch nature. The reality is that I'm very excited, because I think it would be very exciting to have.
Well, it sounds like you've got the players in place already, and they've already agreed. So all you have to do is say go.
Indeed. So it's just a matter of doing that, and there are some details to be ironed out. The model that comes to mind is the Momento Zero, simply because that is the model that seems to be the primary choice for people making custom versions of the Leonardo. So I think that's where Salvatore's mind goes naturally.
Well,
And that's pretty much it.
do you have any people in the audience are asking? Actually, they're offering the fact that David sold his pens. Somebody said there were 200. Somebody said there's 111. But whether there were 111 or 200, they were all gone in 2 minutes. So people
Yeah,
want
I
to know
read
that
that.
you're going to make more than 111 or 200.
Well, here is something that I'm currently considering, but people should be very well advised that this is not just up to me. So I will share this. I am currently also having conversations with Joost Appelboom to, I will put this diplomatically and say, help out with the distribution of the pens, because the reality is I cannot do the distribution. I think David did it himself, at least for people not in Europe. I cannot do this. And the reason is Canada Post is fairly grotesquely expensive. I mailed a pen today that someone bought in the UK. It was in a tiny little box, and it was $50 to ship with tracking. And that's just tiny box. So I simply cannot do this. Plus, I'm not a professional distributor. I don't have a shop. I don't have any of that. Appelboom does. I've known Joost for a long time. Joost was very enthusiastic. So I think that
Does he have
I can
shops
say
on
yes.
2 continents?
Well, that's another thing. He has a shop in the Netherlands and he has a shop in Boston now, which would be good for my North American friends, right? It just makes things easier from that perspective. Now, the one thing that I'm currently considering, and this is to be taken as incredibly premature / preliminary, because I've not discussed this with Joost yet. So, Joost, I'm sorry you heard it here first. One thing that I was thinking about was to do an initial run of a limited number of pens, simply because I need a number. I need a number of pens, 125 pens, something like that.
Right.
But to not make it limited. So to only do that initial run as an initial run, I shouldn't call it limited, I should say an initial run of that number of pens. Depending on interest, I would be up for asking Jonathan to cast some more acrylic, for Salvatore to make some more pens. I don't know if either of these people are able or willing to do that, right? And I also don't know if Joost is interested in adding this pen as a more or less regular lineup in his store. I don't know. It
So
depends on
you're still
three
in
separate
the
people.
preliminary stages of the planning.
Absolutely. But what I would like to do, because I've seen this, right now it's finally slowed down a bit with my ink. But initially, whenever Ackerman would have a new batch of my ink, in a week it was gone. And you're talking, for the record, like you're talking 40 liters of ink, right? That's a lot of ink to move, and it would just sell out initially in hours, then in days. Now it's slowed down, and that's how it should be, because now the people who want it have it, and there's a couple of people who still want it, who are new to the pen, etc., and they're now buying it. So it would be interesting to me, because I don't want to disappoint anyone, if we could do an initial run, and I emphasize that now, after that initial run, there may not be any more SBRE brown pens. That may be it. But if there continues to be an active interest, I would be up for trying to negotiate with all the parties involved to make it a more regular
That can be
pen.
a subject you broach with them beforehand, too.
Well, exactly. And right now, again, not a single pen has made. The material doesn't exist, so
This is all
this is
planning.
not going to be in shops
Everybody
tomorrow. It's
understands
not going to
that.
be in shops next month. It's going to take a bit of time because multiple parties are involved, not only in different countries but on different continents. So this is going to take time, but I do think it's an interesting endeavor. I'm very excited about it,
James
and we will
Taylor
see
is
how
leaving, so we have to say goodbye to James. But he, in case you're still here, he did say, where do we sign up for the interest? Where do I put my name on
Well,
an
at
interest
this
list?
point, I think what will happen is there will be that initial run of I know 100, 110, 100, I think David had 111. I was currently thinking of 125. Right, that's just my idea. Joost has to actually put him in his shops. He hasn't said yes, so I mean, I have to see. That's currently what I'm thinking. But by all means, give me a message, email, or on this video. A comment would be useful. Anything we can get would be useful.
All right. So, but you're not collecting email addresses yet for people who want to be notified. They're going to find out
No.
anyway.
It's just, again, I think it's going to be a matter of there will be X of these pens.
Yes.
And you purchase them within a window, and then they'll be sold out. And if there is a lot of interest after that, maybe there'll be more, maybe there will not be.
If you want my reaction off the top of my head, not knowing how pens are actually made, talk to them now. Can we just make 1,000 right now?
Yeah,
you
I
would
will.
sell 1,000 in less than a day. There's no question in my mind. So, I mean, to make 125 and say I don't know if there'll ever be any more, those will go in a minute.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can make 1,000. I'm just saying, since you're so in the preliminary.
No, and I mean, someone also has to inventory them and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think we're probably looking at something around 100, around the 100 mark to begin with. That's the impression I got.
Okay.
From Joost initially.
Well, they'll be gone.
And then we'll see.
They'll be gone.
And we'll see.
They'll be gone. Well, that's exciting news.
I think it is.
Is this the first you've talked about it?
Well, it's the first, I think so, because up to this point, it's only been that one stream where I mentioned the idea where Leonardo did come up. So, yeah. I think this is the first public, more or less, announcement. And I think it
has been suggested in the comments that you don't mention this anywhere else until you're ready to, just so we're the only ones who know about it.
Yeah, we'll keep it a secret.
We'll buy all the pens.
If you know, you know.
In fact, we can't even publish this video. It's just the people who watch live. That's the only people
Take
who
it
will
off
know.
Straight away. Yeah. Oh, that was it. So we'll see.
Well,
I say at this point there's a 90% probability of this actually happening. So it's just a matter of time and of all the parties aligning, because again, it takes a lot of coordination for this, because it's not just one company providing the material and making the pens and doing the distribution. It's different. But to be honest, it was largely the same thing for David, because he also had Jonathan make the material.
Yeah,
so clearly it can't.
I don't think you're inventing anything here, because the person who makes the materials has already worked with the person who makes the pens, and the person you're hoping will do your distribution has already worked with the pen manufacturer and has a lot of experience in getting pens and sending them off to people who are buying them. You've got experts in the field, so this should run smoothly.
I would say so.
But do put my name on the list.
I shall.
Okay.
I shall.
I appreciate that.
Here's another
tidbit.
Good question. Would you buy it if on the nib was a laser engraving of me doing this?
I don't think I would be able to say no to that. I thought you were going to make the section metal.
Yeah, that's true. I may, and it may have, especially for you, it'll be gold trims.
Make it rose gold, because that's my absolute favorite.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's it shall be.
Do you have any idea what the price range might be, or would you rather I don't ask that question?
No, you can't. This is something that I will have to discuss with Joost, who'll be selling them. But having said that, if it is a Momento Zero, I think retails, I want to say, for 199 euros. David sold his for 235. From top of my head, could be that, but that's what I want to say. $235, and then $240 for a gold nib update, which is disproportionately expensive, but that's how it works. The gold nibs are
we're well
disproportionately expensive. So that's not something that was, I think, within David's control. That's just the way it worked. So I would say that you probably look at something like that, 235, something like that for steel nib. Again, also pending input from Joost, who will be selling them, and clearly has a big say in that. But I don't think. I mean, it would be odd to now sell a steel nib Momento Zero for $500. I mean, that would be weird to me. So I wouldn't expect that to happen.
Well, if they say SBRA Brown and they're numbered,
And it has my face.
could
Like
be
this on it.
1100. You know,
Yeah,
make
maybe.
1100. Make it $1,000.
Yeah, that could. Yeah, that could be. That could be. Yeah.
Go the route with Sailor. Well, you only have to sell 1,000 of them.
Well, another thing, but seriously, it was another consideration because realistically, I know that not everyone can afford a $200 pen, but I know that, relatively speaking, a whole lot of people cannot afford a $1,000 pen, right? And I know we've said this before, and that applies here too. I cannot please everyone. If it was up to me, I would make a $25 pen in a gorgeous material, but I can't. I don't know anyone who would be able to do that on such a small scale.
No,
for
on that
price.
scale, that'd be impossible.
You know, if you make 10,000, sure, but
Yeah.
if it's going to be 100, I don't see it happening. So that's what I have, about 200 probably, US.
Okay. Well, we will
Plus-
await further information.
I hope next month when you and I speak and we do this again that I will have more to say about it, and I'll see.
I suppose we should say that we're going to do it again, if I plan to.
Of course we are.
Generally
we-
speaking, we do it on the last day of the month. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 4 weeks from today, August 31st. That would give us twice in August. We have not done this show on the last day of July because one of us was unavailable.
It's true. I was not there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
I was exploring.
Exploring pen options. It's okay. We forgive you.
I was. It could have been, but no. I was exploring another province that I kept being told that it's beautiful, but never seen it. The short answer is it is beautiful. Now I know.
Were you in any big cities I might know?
I was in British Columbia and I was in Kelowna, which was very nice. I was in Victoria, which is on the island, as they say, and in Sydney, which is not Sydney, Australia. It's different Sydney, Sydney with an I. And it is Australian Sydney with a Y, with 2 Ys? Now suddenly I started at it.
It's a Y.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so
It's
it
the
was different.
correct
It was
way.
on the coast. It's very nice. It has mountainous areas, rocky by the sea. It's really quite pretty. So it was very nice. And so yes, I was in. I don't know if Victoria is a bigger city, not a New York type city, but it's a city.
Well,
It's very nice.
Nothing is like New York.
Nothing. It was so nature was nice. Cities were nice.
All
Fun.
right, so you had a good time. Well, we missed
Oh,
you
yeah.
on the 31st, July 31st.
I know,
Yeah.
but
we
I'm
missed
here
you on
now.
Saturday, but you're here now. By the
Any
skin of your
moment-
teeth,
any
because
moment you get to spend
most
with
people
me.
don't know
Yeah.
that you couldn't get your video working. We were this
I couldn't.
close to having to cancel, or me
But-
talking to a big S all
And
night.
now, people go to bed with this wonderful image of an SBRE brown pen in their
Some
minds.
people
They will
are
have
just going to
dreams.
lunch. What do you mean go to bed?
Well, you could have a siesta.
Yeah, okay. That's it. That's all I got. Until
I have nothing.
the end of this month. It was nice chatting with you.
It was as always.
Nice chatting with you. Yeah, as always.
And as it is such, so also as such, is it unto you.
Yes, that's why
As
I'm
they
hanging
say.
up now. Good night, everybody, or good morning, or good afternoon,
yeah.
whatever it is. We will see you next time. Bye.
Oh.